All right, as you all know already, the cattle panning greenhouse is complete. So an overview of what I did. I had some fiberglass square tubes driven to ground about a foot or so. Not 100% sure how deep they went in. It doesn't really matter. It'll hold whatever I want it to for that. So it's going to hold that together. I did that, and then I screwed some boards on. Burnt the boards, burned them so they wouldn't rot up, and I screwed them fast to those tubes. And then I had insulation, and I put it on, and then I put the wiggle wire down. That's actually the wiggle wire, or the channel lock, not the wiggle wire. The channel lock actually is what holds this to the board. So this could come out if it wasn't for this. But anyhow, and the reason I put the insulation on is because them beds are, on this end anyway, they're a foot deep. So I'm not saying the soil would freeze, but it's more likely that it wouldn't done underneath that plastic, I'm sure. But now I know it won't. And it will help keep it warmer in there so I can grow greens all year long, all winter long. So that's the gist of what I did. And back here, I put the channel lock and the wiggle wire in. You can see I got some tools in there. Lots of greens, as you can see through it. And it's sweating on the inside too, but that's what it is. So, and over here I did the same thing on this side as I did that side. The only difference is these beds aren't near as high. So that's where we are with what we got. We actually still have snapdragons growing, which is awesome because it's like 40 degrees outside, probably mid 50s now, but this morning it was 41. Tomorrow morning it's supposed to be 41 as well, so pretty cool to still see flowers growing. So in this end we put a zipper, which you all seen me do that yesterday. If not, you need to check out part 7. For those, you just take the clips off, take this clip off, then you can zip it. I can zip it down just like that. I can, I don't know if I can zip it up with one hand or not. I'm gonna try. If I step on it, it should work, right? Yep, works good. So I can go inside. And actually this zipper that I have, if I want to, it's got a handle on the inside too, so I can zip it down. If I'm in here, if I want to spend some time in here, I could zip that down. It'll stay a little warmer in here. And then you can see my spinach growing good. Onions are growing good. Everything's looking great. Turnips, they're growing really good. The one row's better than the other. And I don't know why they did that, but they did. These are Earthway seeders, what I have. I don't have the better one. That's what I got. Buy what you can afford. And over here I got radishes. Most of those didn't even germinate, but there's fair many weeds in there. I don't know what I'll do in there yet. I might do something different in that bed. Then I got lettuce here growing. Just looking really good. I put it in the ground a couple weeks ago. This lettuce here I put in last evening after I finished the greenhouse. Up here I have kale and mustards, which that's what this half was supposed to be. Those lettuces I would have probably given them away if my kales would have germinated better, but they didn't. So whatever, right? So you just do with what you got. So that's what I got. So that's what I did. And also too, down here is a space with nothing growing. There's a nice pretty mum, and down there's a space with nothing growing other than weeds, right? So I'm not sure what I'll do in there yet. I'm gonna plant something in there because there's no need in having wasted space, nothing growing in there. So I'm gonna do that. But next steps next, I'm going to sit down and discuss the cost of this, what it cost me, what it would cost somebody to build one just like it. And if anybody has any questions whatsoever, just let me know, and I'll gladly answer the best of my ability.
Here I am sitting down on my lazy butt. So I got some notes that I wrote down this evening on cost and stuff. First things first. If I had to build this again, I would have made it 8 foot wide instead of 9 foot wide. Right now it's a 9 foot by 25 foot. I probably would have made it 9 foot by 21 foot, or 8 foot by 21 foot. Sorry, just for the simple fact it would have made it taller in here. It's like 6'3" right in the peak, which is plenty high enough for me. I'm pretty sure I'm 5'7", 5'8", somewhere in there, whatever. Vertically challenged is what I like to say. Fairly small. So it's good enough for me and my wife. We're both short compared to most people, but whatever. I think it would be more sturdier too if it was 8 foot instead of 9 foot, but that'd be about the only thing I would change. That, and I would only use 5 panels instead of 6 to make it. The cattle panels are 50 inches by 16 foot. So I used 6 panels, which made it 25 foot long. So costing, the only thing I bought was the panels. Everything else I had here, I had the plastic. We had it left there from our nursery greenhouse. This is the channel lock and wiggle wire. I had it left over from the nursery greenhouse. That we bought all that from Grower Solutions. I'll let a link in the comments in the description below for that. So that we had that left over. The boards, I cut those with my all the boards I had here. Whenever we cut trees down, I got a Alaskan chainsaw mill. I made those boards, so I got time in them, but I don't have no money in them. The insulation that I used, I had that for, I don't know, I had it left over from a project I did years ago. The square tubing, I actually bought that from the Amish. I bought those for $1 a piece, and they were, I think they were 10 or 12 foot long. So I did buy those, and I bought the cattle panels. So I have about $198 in it. That's my price. Well, no, take that back. I got $198 in the cattle panels. The tubing I have $5 in, and the zipper I have $25 in the zipper. So I got $230 in it at most. It'll grow. It'll last for years. I'll be able to grow in this garden, in these gardens, for years to come. In fact, in the spring, I'll probably grow early. I'll start tomatoes in one side, cherry tomatoes, and in the one side. So this side over here, I'll put cherry tomatoes in, and I'll probably be able to put 20 plants in this bed this spring, which I'll start those in here probably mid to late April, which will give me a month and a half, 2 month head start on the outdoor ones. And up here on this bed, up on this side, I plan to put, I'm planning on putting ginger in it, so that'll give me, I'll probably put 25 to 30 ginger plants in this on that side, and that'll give me a month and a half, 2 months head start on that as well. So that'll give me a boost come farmers market season on when my crops will be ready. So that's one reason why I built this, but that's not the only reason. The main reason is because I want to have salad greens and fresh vegetables all winter long. I don't like to depend on the grocery stores for greens, because you don't know where they come from, or as many recalls as they have on lettuce nowadays. You don't know where they're at or nothing else, right? So I like to grow my own food. As much as possible anyway, not all of it. I don't grow no meat or nothing, but I know where a lot of my meat I get off local farmers, so I know where it's at too, right? So we can support everybody else in the community. So anyways, to get to costing, the plastic, if you would buy new plastic from Grower Solutions, you would have to buy a 16 foot by 55 foot long piece, which is $147. Channel lock and wiggle wire is $9.70 per 6 foot length, so you would need 60 feet of that. It would be $97. The cattle panels are $28 a piece. You need 6 of those. It'd be $198. They're 50 inches by 16 foot. You could go longer or shorter. This is just what this is. So, I had the lumber, so you wouldn't. I didn't have to buy it, but I counted the lumber as what I drove in the ground for the stakes of the 2x2 square tube, and the frames on both ends, the zipper wall and the back wall. That I counted all those as 2x4s. Right now at the market, the way they are right now at Lowe's, they're $4 a piece. You would need 9 of those. It'd be $36. The screws, I had the screws. They was left over from the raised beds that were here in our original nursery greenhouse, which I tore it down this spring. There's where I got all my screws from. If you had to buy those, you'd buy a 5-pound pack at Lowe's for $5. Yeah, I think that's what it was. The zipper on Amazon at $25. So you'd have a total cost of $508 in this if you built it right now. If you had to buy everything in it that's in it right now, it would be $508 bucks. Like I said earlier, I got like $230 in it. No big deal. I'll eat that much worth of lettuce out of it myself this winter, me and the wife. So that's no big deal to us. Not that it's not a big deal. Don't get me wrong on that. $200, right? But as far as cost goes, it's well worth what it costs to put it up. Even at $500, in 2 seasons you'd have this paid for. Regardless, you'd have it paid for on the amount of food you get out of this area. And if you stick around, I'll show you and explain to you all winter long what we get out of this. If we freeze out, we freeze out. I'll explain all that to you. I'm not going to hide nothing from you. It's going to be what it's going to be. So in total time it took to build it, if I would not have filmed it as I built it, because it took me a good bit longer to film it and edit the films and whatnot. So I probably have 25 to 30 hours in a total, which would be making the film and editing it out and setting up the cameras and doing the shots and all that crap. So if you was to do this, you could do this in 8 to 10 hours. If you and your friend, or you and your wife, or you and your husband, or whoever would just sit down and just do it, and you had all the material laying here, you could do it in 8 to 10 hours pretty easily. So if anybody has any questions on this greenhouse or the nursery greenhouse or anything else we do here at DHT Nursery, just let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I'll put a link to the Grower Solutions website below. We bought our greenhouse from them, and I would buy from them some more. Yeah, they're pretty good to work with. They ship right to you. No nonsense. Pretty nice company to work with. Unless you have a local nursery supply store, which we do, but they didn't have what we wanted. They wouldn't get to the size of nursery greenhouse that we wanted in. Grower Solutions was easy to work with. They would get whatever you wanted. So, no, they're not affiliated. They're not a sponsor or nothing else. I just like their products, so that's why I was bringing them up. So, anyhow, until we meet again, take care and God bless.